or by observing, say if I'm sitting next to you, or somebody else also could be sitting next to you and working. So you should not just only see the technical part, see how the person thinks, what is the process he goes through. Say I have a problem, he has a problem, what will he do? Like I've shown many cases and examples, I've shown you this, if I were you, how I would solve the problem. So maybe that part I think is the thing. And probably if you ask me one important thing I would say, suggest you, which I think is, I learned from my experiences, two. One, you should aspire more. You should not be satisfied with what you have. Okay, and in the earlier years, I think that is the biggest mistake most of us will do. Okay, I have a job. Okay, I joined as a software engineer. I get paid handsomely. That's enough. Don't do that. And later part of your life, you will find, even if you have some ambition, you may not be able to keep. All of us have ambitions after some time because we have the maturity and, oh, okay, I can't say the other way around is that he may be very complacent also. But I won't say like that because positively speaking you will have, but you may not be able to fulfill. So I think why don't you start early? That's my point. Okay, so I think there you may want to aspire and probably say, I can say even a good example here, say you join a job and then you feel that maybe you want to do something else, and if you're very young, say you're 23 or something, you could even go for your civil services exam. Nobody stops you. And there you can go and implement many of your ideas. In fact, there's one, I was reading the other day, an article about one IAS officer. He's heading one of the government IT institutions, and he has some very interesting ideas. For example, he is struggling very hard to introduce Linux across every government organization, but he has to convince many people, and he is technically working very hard to convince them, and he has the authority. He's a managing director. He's hardly 35 something, a managing director of a government institution, which is not popularizing, which has to take care of these implementations, and he is striving very hard to implement Linux. And of course, he's from our place. He's doing it at our place. I'm from Chennai basically, so he's doing it there. So I found those are very exciting opportunities. See, I may teach Linux, I may have a good command over, but still I don't have that capacity to popularize it to the level he might do. So I now feel that okay, probably you should have a little higher level of approach or a pedestal to do that. Now that, how can you do? You have to reach that level. So you maybe technically I can't do that. I need technology plus something. So I think like this I want you guys to aspire something different. So don't stop at the stage of a software engineer or a project manager. I think these are all very primitive things. Okay, why? The larger scale is missing there. Okay, of course. The thing is that you should aspire to become the managing director or a CEO of a company. But then again, you need to take the MBA level, that kind of a stuff. I mean, that is what I said. It all depends whether you want to become that, then maybe you take the MBA route, or you want to do the same things at more at social or probably contribute at a better level. I would say you should go for the civil services kind of a thing. Think like this. I'm not saying any one of them. Think like this. So I think that will at least create some more aspiration in you rather than just going and coding and only doing this. Okay, at this level, if you ask me, whatever you are doing is good. I'm not saying anything against it. But after some time, you'll realize these things are going to become mechanical and monotonic. So you want to take these ideas to a higher level, something more bigger, and influencing people. Say, for example, you may want to what's called computerize right through the schools. Okay, and not the typical computerization, but it should have a value added. Say maybe computing with mathematics, computing with science. Now that kind of a thing, if you want to do, don't tell me you can do as a programmer or a developer. Right? I think that is what I said. You have to think bigger. Okay, so for all that, which means you have to aspire and become something else, maybe not this one. And interestingly, just to tell you, of course, if those who have observed me will also appreciate that. Although I teach, fundamentally I'm not a teacher, but I appreciate that. Okay, teaching, as I said, I have found teaching as a pedestal where I can reach more people and probably spread what I have in mind. That way I would say I'm very thankful for that job, or probably thankful to CDAC for providing such a good environment for me, that freedom and a good environment. But that is what the reason why I am into it. Okay, honestly, if you ask me, I have many other talents and many other opportunities that I can pursue, but only reason currently I'm sticking on to it is I feel this particular element is really exciting. Okay, and I'm still finding after teaching for so many students and so many years, it is not at all as monotonic as people think. It is still exciting, and still I feel I'm contributing. It's not like I'm coming, going. Okay, there's a way. It's coming and going is also like spending so many hours completing the module, going off. No, it is not. Still I'm finding it very exciting, which means looks like I'm still able to motivate a few people, still able to pass on a few ideas, which will take its shape eventually, which I think. And of course, I can't say this alone is enough. I have to do more also. So I'm looking at some other things as well. But in the process, that's what I'm trying to say. Whatever it is, think big. And you are very young. That's why I'm telling this, because you will find after 30, your compulsions will be very different. Okay, so maybe you are settled. I mean, one good example I'll tell you, which I observed, although it doesn't apply to me. You will not be able to relocate. You want to relocate, you will not. Not like you don't want to. Maybe your family doesn't want to. And because of that, who knows, maybe 20 years down the line you will repent. Why? Maybe that opportunity would have transformed your life. So that's why I said, why? Because again, you're settled, your family says don't relocate. So of course, I don't fit into that category, so I have not much issues there. But this is what I would say you should be doing. And finally, before I finish, irrespective of all this, in these years, I've understood the psychology of the students and probably able to help them or even change them better because of that. And I'm also ashamed to say that I don't understand my own children as much as I do you people. The reason is I hardly spend time with the children. I hardly teach them. And just to tell you that's the ironical part of it anyway. But just to tell the other side, yeah, that is what I would say. One proof I've seen is that I spend so much time with you guys, so I know your problems. Maybe I'm able to solve either this, not the technical part. I'm talking correct your problems, and probably able to guide in certain ways better. It's partly because of spending a lot of time, so many hours, and I'm also keen. As I told you, it's not a mechanical thing for me. I'm very keen that I should correct it. And as long as that fire is there, maybe I will be teaching. And once that goes off, maybe I have to get out of it. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.